you have a niche and some focus, and how important has that been to your growth?
Very important. The temptation in payroll, well, let me just say this. There's a lot of different ways to build a payroll company. You can be we're more on the simple end of things where we run payroll for small businesses. We have some partnerships where we can offer workers' comp insurance, some timekeeping, things that will actually integrate with the software that we use. But we're not trying to be like a full-blown HR company. And our software that we've chosen to use we couldn't really do that. We don't have, 1,000 integrations with all these third parties. So I feel like there's kind of a range of ways you can build a payroll company. You can be like us, which is more on the simple end, or you could go all the way to like trying to build a PEO, which is the most complex probably operation that you could run, because you're a co-employer with your client. Like on paper, their employees are your employees. You do the HR, you do everything. There's a lot of money to be made in that field because you're doing so much for the client. And I get that. But for us, we just decided we just want to focus in, because I'm a simplifier. I like simple things. Payroll's complicated enough as it is. So what we do is we run payroll for companies that have 1 to 49 employees. And I really stick to that. Like if I get a lead that is outside of that range, I won't typically take the business. I'll refer them to somebody that I trust, that I think will do a good job with it, that has more of those capabilities. So what that's done for me, and again, this isn't for everybody, but what that's done for me is allowed me to build an extremely operationally efficient business, because we're not trying to do a million things. We know who we are. We know what we do. We have very defined processes, and all the clients that we bring on fit within that process. So I love that. I love being able to run an efficient business and it not get too complicated. But again, there's a lot of ways to build a company, and it kind of depends on the software that you use. If you have software that has some nice integrations and you can offer more to your clients, I mean, I say go for it if that's the kind of business you want to build. But for us, staying in that lane has really helped. It's also helped with employee recruitment, because a lot of my employees came from large payroll companies where they were getting pulled in so many different directions. And basically the idea of, we are a payroll company and we do whatever our client wants us to do. And that to me is just a recipe for disaster. So when I've recruited and told told candidates like, hey, this is all we do, and I'm never going to ask you to do anything else. And we're not going upstream to bigger clients that are going to be more needy. And I'm never going to ask you to provide more services beyond payroll, because these people I'm talking to, they just love running payroll. That's what they want to do every day. When I say that, I can just sense this wow, that sounds amazing. That's all you do, for real. And I've gotten some really great employees on my team because of that strategy, I think.